It's Sunday, it's 6 p.m. It's the Sunday Swinger Show. Let's get into it. This week marks 25 weeks that we've been doing this each week, and it also marks the end of the series. This is the end of series 1 of the Sunday Swinger Show. Not to worry, for our members, we're going to be doing this each week, every week, where we're going to be going over swing trades on Bitcoin, altcoins, indices, gold, you name it, every single week for our members. But for the public, this marks the end of an era where today will be the last show. But don't worry, we're going to be covering Bitcoin, we're going to be covering altcoins with Trader R. And yeah, it's the end of a good few weeks. When we come back with series 2, it's going to be a much bigger, better show. So you do have that to look forward to. But so let's get into the analysis and see where we're at. Before we go there, let's see, 25 shows. 25 shows, over 2,000% in profitable trade setups. Like, we actually stopped counting. It was over between myself and Trader R. Netzo was on 1 or 2 of the weeks, and so was Imi. It's been over 2,000% in profitable trade setups if you are following along the setups that we give here every Sunday. And we also do giveaways nearly every Sunday, to a total of 15 monthly memberships we've given out, along with really, really good deals as well. Okay, so let's now look at Bitcoin. If we take ourselves right back, and I know I've shown this 100 times, but it's good to add context. So right back at the end of March, start of April, we're looking for that move down into that RTH gap to take out those lows. This was on Bitcoin CME futures, and then to push on up. The whole way up, we were bullish. No retrace was throwing us off. We were just looking to hold those longs the whole way up to the high of this range. That was always the plan. There was a couple of little areas at the very top that we were looking for potential areas to turn around, but we didn't get it. But because there was absolutely no change in market structure. But the whole plan was to trade this the whole way up, without looking for any sort of shorts. There were scalps to be given, but this was all bullish market structure. Bullish market structure. The same in here, bullish market structure. There was nothing bearish in here if you were down on the lower time frame. And then we got this move up. This is an area that we were waiting for a long time at Pro Traders Lounge. It was one of the plans from a higher time frame to look for this area if we do come up into it and start getting interested. Again, this is the CME futures, and we were looking for, forget about all of this, but coming up into that zone, and you can see that we're spending a lot of sideways action here in the kind of fractal that I was drawing out. Now, disregard this whole big drop down here because we're focused on up here, and that's where we were looking for price to start going sideways. Okay, so that was in this region here. Now, I did do a X update where I was saying at the time we had come up above these highs here, and I was saying don't look for anything bearish until we start to lose the quarterly value. You can't see it here. It's like the screenshot was taken on a potato. Anyway, there's nothing bearish until we start to lose that quarterly value area high, okay? But this was all the stuff that I shared publicly. But with the members, we were looking at something in here. We were looking for a retrace up here. We saw something really nice on the charts. I'm not going to cover it today, but we were looking for a short up here, which we got into. Now, I've closed out that short by mistake, but that was a really, really nice move to the downside of close to 10%. Last week's idea that we gave out for a short was this, where we were looking for price to come up into the reaction zone and looking for a trade. So this whole move up, these were the only real short positions that we were giving out. Well, for me, the only short positions that were given out after this whole rise to the upside. So if we go back down, we came down, got a really, really nice move down from the first area, back test into our next reaction zone, where we got a really nice move down. And in fairness, even though I had planned this, I had too much going on. I did not take that long. I did plan this long with the members, but I did not take it. I wasn't happy with what I was seeing down here, although I had planned it. So I did indeed miss this trade. I missed this long trade, and it is it's no problem. I'm just looking for the screenshot here that I can show you. So this was the one for me. Open link. So here's the one. Next local trades for me are the high and low of the monthly range. So monthly value area low to come down and take the low of that. And if we put on our monthly range here, you can see that we came down and took the low of that range. So that's what we were looking for here. Come down and take the low. And as I said, I didn't take the trade. I missed the trade. So now we need to see what I'm looking for locally here. I'm not looking for swing trades. I'm going to be looking for the next day trade setup, as Michael, when sailing, will be going over swing trades for Bitcoin inside in the group today for our members after this stream is done. So let's see what we're looking for. So let me throw back on that monthly range again. Okay, so we've come back into the monthly range, back above the value area, low of the range, back above the monthly point of control, previous month point of control, I should say, and now we're here. So two big key areas still for me will be up here at the monthly value area high and down at the monthly point of control and value area low. Still key levels as we're still trading within that. So as one does, if you're after missing that long position and you didn't get in as the back test was not given, then we're going to have to look for a new position. I still want to look for a long in here. I will still be interested in shorts should we get up here. But I want to see, can we get into a day trade position? So that's what I want to look for. So I'm going to do some, look for some local levels and see what we have. A lot of volume down here. You see some nice high volume nodes as we step back up here, as we come back up into that 109, 108. Price action is fairly familiar in fairness. So 382 and 425, my two favorite levels, are coming in here with current price action at the point of control. Okay, so if price was to start turning from where it was now, you've got the confluence of those levels in with a point of control. But it looks like it wants to move up, so we cannot say that that is the pivot of this move yet. But in around that region, even if we were to come up here and take the high, you know, we would still be in around that region of the point of control. Let me have a look. Or the golden pocket region will be down at the value area low. So what I'm thinking is Saturday. This low was put in on Saturday. Just going to make sure that, yes, Saturday, that low was put in. So my idea here will be, at the minute, that if price does retrace wherever it retraces from, whether it's here or whether it's up here or wherever it may be, I want to see that come down and take that weekend low. Take the weekend low out. That's where I'd be interested in taking a position. And currently, if it rejects from where it is, that would come into our area of the 382 and 425 region, which will be a nice area that I would look for. I would look for a long position, reaction based, that is. So this would be a nice little day trade zone for me, where I would look for. I would look to see how the reaction plays out. Alternative to that, if it comes down that bit deeper, I would look back down to that value area high. So we'll mark that in. Our value area low. And that has the confluence of the golden pocket region. Let's have a look at some. That's a weekly naked point of control to pull it up there to the highs. Okay. Some nice volume stepping in back up here. Yeah, look at this. Like your developing month, that would be like a rotation from the value area high down to the value area low for it to hold. In confluence with that, you've got the previous month point of control. Okay. And then if we were to come down into that lower region, you have that previous month value area low. I would be aiming with that trade. I would be aiming, depends on where it is, here or over here. I would be aiming for roughly 108, 109, 108, 700 region. What's that in terms of that's 4.7% move to the upside. Or if we get a deeper retrace, that's a 6.7%. So either of those, to be honest with you, for a long. If there's no reaction, there's no trade. You have to remember that. I would much prefer this one. I would much prefer the 382 and 425 and a really, really strong impulse to the upside afterwards. Fast move to the upside. Like ideally to take out these highs. That would be ideal target, but we do have volume stepping in before that down here. But ideal target will be up at 110, 700. If we do hold down here, because this can just plummet right down and there's no trade set up. If that is the case, a real fast move up there, you would have a 6.5% move. Let's see, do we hit the 1-to-1 for that? 1-to-1 is about 109. So yeah, that's the level I will be looking for a trade. Any of those, here or here, for a day trade, if it's given, reaction based only. Which, when I say reaction, I mean fast move into that area and fast move out of that area. No real hanging around, and I would like to see those areas hold for a potential long, as I've missed this one. So that's it for me on Bitcoin. Thanks a million for tuning in over the last 25 episodes. So it's over to Mr. Trader R now, and hope you have a great weekend. Take it easy.
How we doing, folks? Welcome to another Sunday Swingers. Hope we're all doing well. Hope we all had a good week. Yeah, so last week we went over a few. I think we went over 3 or 4, maybe 3. And we had Ethereum as a faker of the triangle. We're around this area. Was looking for some kind of lower high. He actually did give us that lower high, which is nice. But the main game plan was the TR pocket. At that time, I'm not sure if we had the pivot there, but pivot spawned on top of that TR pocket, which is fucking brilliant. In the end, she got a nice 6-7% bounce for Ethereum. I consider that a win because it's like a Bitcoin. You know, it's like Bitcoin compared to the altcoins. 10% I'd really go for. But on Ondo, we tried to time the low. We got very close to it, very close to the timing, but we got the low spot on, very spot on, and we got 11% bounce. And you know me, when I say there's a 10% bounce on these altcoins, then we consider that a win. So I'm not going to cover any of these because this could hold. And what could probably happen is maybe it comes down, holds this. I'm not too sure, but for now I don't see a trade on this, so I don't see anything really now on Ethereum, and I don't really see anything on Ondo. That was the low, that was the trade. Now we have to find a new trade, and we have to figure out what's going to go on next. So I'm going to look at DOT and I'm going to look at ADA. Two of them look alright. Like structure wise, they look like a bit of, I could actually pull off something on these. So we're going to have a look at these. I know Bitcoin is on a bounce up, but will this bounce last? Is it just a squeeze? Could we come down lower? We'll have to see. So for now, I do like this pivot low, pivot high on ADA. Because it's just the way it is, and you have a little stab through here to get a few early longs in my opinion. We get a bit of a move up here. So when this starts to fall off, I would love if we can come down, grab this liquidity down here. Liquidity. Oh, grab that liquidity down here into this TR pocket, right? On log and linear. So we're gonna have to mark the two of these out. Get like this. This area is a fairly big zone. Put a buy box in here. Front, lock it in. Actually, this is not even on property. I'd like us to get into this zone at some stage, maybe this week, maybe next week, not too sure. Let's get rid of this 0.5 for now. What else have we got? We have this nice candle at the low, but it's a bit too far off. We'll go 6 hour then. 6 hour, that demand is still there. 12 hour. 12 hour demand is way bigger. It's way nicer. We'll have a look and see what this is like now. Demand is right in that zone. That's nice. Maybe we check the liquidations. It might be better. How's the liquidity doing? We got a 4 hour. 2 hour. This is a bit down here, alright? It would kill off everything. It would kill all that. There's still a lot to the top side, to be fair, on the lower time frames. Interesting enough. Let me just flick through these and see if there's anything really sticking out right now. Not really, but you can see we kind of clear out everything if we do go down there. So that's nice to have that little zone there. We have a bit of a trend line. So let me see. Would we have 786 or something like that on this zone? Maybe 886. 786. Not bad. Not bad. That's nice. That is nice. Keep that in there. This is where I would be looking for. And it's a nice and easy one. Not gonna lie, this is a nice and easy one. There's just nice structure on this, so it makes it a bit easier to find where is a good trade. I do think it'll come up as a nice trade. So what will probably happen on this, maybe need to get some longs out, get a bit of a squeeze up or something, and then we fall into this one final push up, and then we get our last low and get a big move up off of that. Then what I'd like to see, she's kind of been going sideways down here, which kind of gives you nice little area, because you can see we have a bit of a base here. So us going for a trade long in that zone on our paper trading account, of course, would make a bit of sense, because we'll have come down and backtest this support region again. If you can hold with a nice cleaner tap, you might get a big old move like this one again. So we'll have to see how this goes. Just seeing here. You have to say, like, for structure wise, this looks great. This looks really nice. Compared to all this stuff, they all came down because they were just straight moves. And this, you have a nice clear wave count here as well, like nice clear wave count in there. So we'll have to see what happens now. Maybe she does get that bounce up, maybe she doesn't, maybe she does not. We'll see. But for now, can we time this one again? Because the last time we timed that low fairly nicely. Let's see if we can get a bit of a timing. 1-to-1 is coming in Monday. Wait, 16th. Oh, that's next week. Yeah, that's fine. That is fine. We'll see how that one goes. Keep an eye on that timing. Get rid of this. Keep it clean. We'll go on to Dot. Dot, the last time we had it, we actually went over Dot. We had that buy zone and she went up. Nice little 40% pretty much. So, get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this. Right, you can kind of tell, lovely little area here for a TR pocket. Pull that in. Comes down towards the lows. It's fairly deep. Can I zoom out here a bit? Yeah, that might make sense because she's been just dying off into these deep lows. So you do get a trade off of these deep lows. Kind of hoping we get a higher low off of this one, but yeah, it would make kind of sense, wouldn't it? To give that low at least a test, because all she's been doing is testing these lows. Oh, look at that one. That was a deep higher low, big move, but in the end we came down and took it. But still, we don't mind. We don't mind as long as we get a nice move. Don't mind at all. So log scale on this. Go like this then. TR pocket. Boom. Boom. Pull this down to the low. And into this. Then to the back. Then to the back. And we have a nice demand here. You can kind of see it. It's nice. That's lovely. That is really. That's really nice. This is a nice area so far. Cleaner than the last one. You do have a bit of a trend line here, but I wonder does she come up and test it here and then come down? Would make kind of sense here, wouldn't it? Let me see pivots. So monthly. Do monthly pivots up here. Now that would make sense to come up and test that trend line at least, wouldn't it? Maybe come up and hit that TR pocket and then back down. Maybe. That's in that zone. You know what? Might actually have two zones on this. Sell zone. Sell box. Pivots there. I'll mark in that pivot, will I? Might as well. Might as well. Pivot. We'll just leave it like that one, so I don't mind. This yellow. Make that yellow. Dun, 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 dun. Let me see. Let me see. Dun, 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 dun. Let me see. Yeah. So let's see. Something like this. Boom. Boom. Fake out a trend line. Range. Stab the low angle. This could be a very, this could take a long time now. Now that I look at it, if she's going to go up there, this could take a long time. Especially if it's going to be a big low. Big low, you know. It could take a long time. That is the plan on the dot. Is it dot? It is dot. I don't like this pivot here. I'm going to like that. Lock that in there. That is dot. One last thing I want to check. Liquidations. Yeah, I'm going to go all over the place there. No. You see. Back to lower time from here. 4 hour. Cleaned up. You did clean up a lot there now. You did, like, you really did. You cleaned up a lot already. See that cluster there? That was a big cluster, like, and you're getting a nice bounce off it, to be fair. Top side, let me see, you do have a nice bit up here. You have a nice bit on the top side too. Oh, I don't have this marked out on the linear log. Wow, okay, so you do have one last cluster there inside in that TR pocket. So I'm going to have to mark this out. I'm going to extend that into the last two. You had it like this. Like this. Patience. Back to the back here. Right in the zone too. Good to know. It's good to know we have that amount of liquidations inside in that zone. So go get them. Let's go get them. Let's get that pivot out of the way too. Why not? Why not? And then we come down and finish off what we're finishing. Finish off all the work we've been doing. Down to get that higher low. There's so much stuff here now. It's kind of bothering me. And it is kind of bothering me now. This trend line will probably go like that. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it looks good like that. Bring it down like that. And that to the back. Nice work. Alright folks, so we have 88 and we have dot. Two of them look like they could bounce up a little bit and then come down and finish off their higher low. Well, I think deep higher low is the call here for me anyway. We'll see how our paper trading goes in from then on. So enjoy the rest of the week, folks. Keep an eye on Bitcoin. If you want any more updates or anything, I'll be inside in Pro Traders Lounge for the rest of the week. Try and hit a few fucking live trades. And that's it. I'll see y'all later. Have a good week and have a good weekend. Adios, folks. Good luck.